Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we are going to be getting some healing messages about the current healing phase. Like, what are we currently healing through, working through, and what kind of guidance wants to come in through the cards to help us in the process, okay? So, the first card coming out is change. So, here you can see we have, let me see if the camera is going to, there we go. So, here we can see somebody who's walking along. And there's a change of seasons taking place here, right? They're in this middle path of what seems to be, growth and certain things that have to fall away. Now, what we do know is that in life, there's an indication here about this path, the path that we're walking, and the things that sometimes we have to leave behind. It's going to go through a process. I always say this, like, we're always in a constant state of change, right? We're always in this constant state of change, whether we realize it or not. Like, you can look back at different photos of yourself from when you were a child up until, yesterday, right? And we can see that we're a different person each time. There's always going to be a collective essence of who we are, but like, that's not who I am anymore. Oh yeah, that was funny. I used to do that. These kind of things, right? Because there's an energetic here of, like, we don't, because it's happening to us and it's a transformation process, we don't see it as much. But we're constantly, there's parts of us that are like dying and falling away. I always say it's like, when you're in college, you're a student and you identify as being a student and you're living a student lifestyle, right? And then once you graduate, then you move on to be a professional. Now you're living a professional lifestyle. You actually have a job, you're working in a career. Everything kind of shifts from this space to that space, right? And this is what I'm picking up here, is there's a definite change, and there can also be a shift in identity, meaning that, you're going through like a divorce, somebody has passed away, you're changing locations, you're getting promoted. It doesn't have to be like the things that are kind of falling away don't have to necessarily be a bad thing. It can be a very good thing that you're letting go of so that you can step into new growth, okay? So we're going to ask for any other guidance around this change. Like, what is this change? What's moving on from here? And I don't know if you guys can hear this. I have a really bad habit of the cards just flying everywhere, and I probably need to clear this space a little bit more so it's easier for me to pick it up. But I always feel like when the cards do that, it's because there's so much that wants to come out. There's so much energy. There's so much that wants to be said, so much that wants to be expressed. Now, I will say that a lot of times with this energy here, this like going into fall energy, which we kind of are, we're getting there slowly but surely, right? That there is a process of going internal. Like, as we go from summer to fall to winter, we start kind of going more internal. If you live in a colder climate, you're going internal, meaning you're going into your house. But it's also a time where we're going more into the water element, and we're going more into ourselves, into introspection. Whereas here, it's an expansion. We're going out. When it's summertime, when the weather's nice, we want to be outside, we want to be doing things, we want to be connecting with people. So this is also an indicator here. So I'm going to shuffle the cards very gently, and I'm going to ask for the cards to just give me a message here. Okay. So the next thing that's coming up is community. So this community card here is bringing in a lot of passion, a lot of, what would you say, like a mutual cause. And we have people that are dancing around a fire, they're celebrating, there's a ceremonial energy, there's a connection to the cosmos here. And so this is like some of the change that's taking place could also be you going from hermit introspection space into expansion and calling in community. Now, because this is in such a tribal sense, I would say that it's for a healing process. It's for a liked cause. Like, everybody's kind of doing this together, for a reason, right? So the community energy is coming in very strongly, calling in your community, calling in your tribe. So you're going from walking your path alone to then maybe finding your tribe, finding a group of people you really enjoy. Sometimes when we move locations, we change jobs, we start school or something like that, we end up finding people that are like-minded, that are along the same path as us. And then we go into the manifestation energy. I love this card. Lots of blues, lots of expression coming in. So we're just going to move all of that up a little bit. Doesn't completely fit, so we're going to do something a little bit different here. I feel like this kind of fits better. We're going from this change of, maybe being more isolated, maybe even just the mindset of doing things alone, to doing things in the mindset of community, and then manifesting from there. Excuse me, I'm just going to move this over so we can get a better view of what's going on here. Okay, so next thing I want to do is just ask the cards about, to just clarify this. What is the change? Is there anything that we're holding on to or anything that we need to focus on in this change that's going to make the transition better, easier, more smooth? Or, sometimes just having an awareness if we're holding on to something. Now, the big piece here for this change is reciprocity. So this came up in another reading that I was doing for a client, and it was kind of this vibration of, I've always done things alone because when I do things with other people, I like give and give and give, and I don't necessarily get back, or there's an imbalance in the give and take, the input and the output of our lives. So this is giving that indication that somewhere you've been doing work around your self-value, you've been doing work around your self-worth, you've been doing work around your confidence, your ability to ask for what you need, which is typically indication here, so that now you're open to community. There can also be healing that's being done around, things of the past, relationships of the past in which you gave and you did not get back, or somebody took from you and it could have hurt you to the point where you're like, I don't want to be with anybody else. I don't want to have a business with another person. I don't want to work for another person. So because it's a collective reading, you have to kind of take it as it resonates for you. It's going to be different for everybody versus when I do a personal reading with someone where it can become more specific for you. But the idea here is that you've worked on healing this idea of creating synergy, creating win-win situations, creating balance, so that then you can call in the community. Now, I'm just going to get a little bit of clarification around community. There's like several cards that want to come out. Okay, so yes. So the cards that are coming out for community, the first one is going to be the Seven of Swords, and that was in reverse, and then also the Eight of Cups. So the indication around community is that whether this was something that you're healing from your childhood that related to family, if this was a relationship space, friendship, or business, there was some sort of like betrayal energy that happened. Like there was something that happened that didn't work out in your favor. It wasn't good. It was very hurtful, and you had to walk away from it. And you kind of had to take that path alone. And so this is part of that, what was being healed here with this community energy. This is kind of a dark energy here. It's very much like a betrayal energy that sets you into a space of having to go on your own. So that could be sometimes if somebody, is taking money from you, if somebody is not being honest with you, if somebody's hurt you in some kind of way that you had to walk alone. Now it's like you were walking alone for a period of time. I always see it like, here you are walking alone. Oh, sorry, you can't really see that. Here you are walking alone, leaving the beach, and then walking into the forest until you found your tribe or your community. Now, we do have like a key person here and then other people in the back. So this could also be an indication of like one key person and then others around them that you're healing through and that you're moving through this energy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask if the energy around community is healed, because this kind of feels like it's maybe still in the process. So please show me any indications about where the current state of this healing is at. I was going to pull the card and it stuck together. So we get the Justice card. So there is a justice. When it came in, when it flew out, it kind of was sideways. So I think that there was a very big injustice that took place here for you. Whatever that looks like, it's going to be different for each person. But it's still in the process. Like you may feel a sense of justice, but because it came in kind of like this, that I think that it's still in process for you. It's something that you're still kind of currently working through. And this can be an external justice. So sometimes things have happened in my life where people have hurt me, and it takes like all your energy to not retaliate and to retain yourself as a being. Like if you're an honest person, not to lie. If you you know, want to be peaceful, you're not going to engage in disagreement. And so it sometimes takes a lot of effort to be who you are. And I think that that's part of the justice energy there, is that like I'm going to retain who I am. I'm not going to go into any dark energy or any lower energy. And then when you stay in that, that the universe serves the karma. Things unfold how they're supposed to, and things, you know, like the truth's revealed, whatever is meant to be kind of unfolds, and we're not going into that energy. So we're going to ask here about reciprocity. Whoa. Okay, so that one came flying out. Now, part of the reciprocity coming in here, this is just the other side of this here, is working with ideas. So this is studying, learning. Obviously, there's some risks involved here. She's kind of walking across the threshold here, but she's got all these amazing ideas that are supported with the birds here as well. And so part of the reciprocity and part of the vibration of the community coming in here is not only getting what you deserve and what you've earned, which is what this card is, after a time of injustice, after a time of being hurt, but then having amazing ideas, not being afraid to cross from one space to another. And we're seeing that being indicated multiple times, like going from one space to another, going from one space to another. I'm going to ask for, I want to ask about this manifestation energy, to be honest, but I feel like there's like one more thing that wants to come out here to kind of balance this energy. So I'm going to ask if there's anything else here when it comes to the change, when it comes to the reciprocity and the ideas coming through for you at this time. I'm getting a lot of heavy energy ever since I pulled this. It's like kind of hard to breathe. So there must be something here with like it being very challenging. Like I'm even getting a little bit emotional about it. The next card coming in is the Nine of Cups. And this is a wishes fulfillment. See how there's the treasure, the heart is open, all the cups are available. There's only one card that is after this, and this is like the attainment of those wishes. This is you like making the wishes, feeling like they're obtainable and they can be present for you, and then just fully surrendering to what needs to come, for what is going to come for you, which is the beauty of that. Okay, so now I want to use this space down here to figure out what are you manifesting? What is the manifestation that's coming in for you here? Okay, and I'm just going to keep it the same deck. So this one came flying out. So the Six of Pentacles is the reciprocity. The Seven is now growing that, planting the seed and growing it. And now it's becoming something. And see how focused he is on that, on making that happen. There's a very focused energy in this manifestation where maybe now you don't have to focus on this. You can focus on, you know, what you're trying to create, the changes that you're making, what you're trying to grow here, the wishes that you want to be fulfilled. Okay, let's for another card, and this is about the manifestation energy. What are we needing? So we have the King of Cups. And I do see this as like a male energy. The King of Cups is also like stepping into, if this is just you and you're not looking for like a partner or anything like that, the King of Cups really owns his, he's like a benevolent king. He's like a diplomatic king. He's a king that like rules from his heart, and he's kind and good to his people. But he's very in tune with his emotions. He's very in tune with who he is as a being. So either this is, you know, and it's a water energy like a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's somebody who is very loving. And it's also an energetic too of, I feel like after this time, being able to really own your emotion and have boundaries. So when I was talking about like the Justice card, and I was saying like when you're able to retain yourself, you're able to like control your emotions. And it's a king energy because it's a masculine thing. Like the feminine, the Queen of Cups is more like the mothering, the psychic energy, the, you know, like the feminine, the, you know, where the king is more like he's setting the boundaries. He has the authority. Not that the queen doesn't, but the king has like a different level of authority, a different intention around protecting, around providing. And so this energy is coming in very strongly like that, that part of what you're manifesting is like this peaceful energy, this energy of, I know who I am, I know how I feel, I know how I want to feel in my life, and it's not this energetic here that we're getting on this side. It's this. It's the balance, it's the reciprocity, it's the hard work, it's the focused energy, it's the dreams coming true. It's a very powerful message. Now, I'm just going to ask, I was going to ask a question, but it looks like the cards are just speaking for me. So I was going to ask what the outcome energy is here. So the first card out is the world, which is a cycle of completion. And we're going to go ahead and put that, I don't know where to put that. Let's put that up here. This is the world. This is a cycle completion taking place. And this is like, I'm kind of getting this opposition here on these sides, where this is kind of like the darker energy that's moving out. It's like that fall energy. And then here is like the energy that we're moving into. And then because these fell together, I'm seeing this side as being like a side of rest and restoration, like really connecting with your heart and using that to kind of weave and thread, you know, some sort of peace, safety, and protection around yourself as you move forward. Okay. So I'm going to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. I feel like using the same deck. I don't know why, I'm just really drawn to this deck. So is there any other messages that want to come through for the collective at this time? Okay. So again, we've got this energy. We have the Devil card, which is coming in. Like, this is cutting the strings, releasing any ties that are binding at this time. This is a huge shift. Like, when I first started this reading, I thought it was going to be very like light and gentle, and then we were getting into such a dark energy on this side of overcoming such a challenging thing for yourself. And a lot of times too, sometimes people, this is what you look like on the outside, but this is what's happening on the inside. So then after the Devil energy, we get the Three of Wands. And this is like you've been waiting, you've been watching, you've been, you know, checking those brakes on the waves, and you want to go ahead and get out there. And so this is the energy of like you've been planning, and now it's going to be time to make those moves. And then the card that comes after that is a card of enlightenment. This is the Hierophant. This is somebody who has lots of wisdom, who's very deeply connected to the divine. And look at the laughter and joy coming through on this person. And I just feel it like, I almost want to cry. I guess you can hear the emotion in my voice, but I feel like it's like a proud moment. It's a proud moment with the justice coming in, but more so the retention of self. Like that you, no matter what people throw at you, no matter what they do to hurt you, no matter what temptations come in to pull you off of your path, to pull you out of alignment with your manifestation, with what you're trying to grow and who you're trying to be as a being. It's like you are protected, and there's nothing that's going to change that. Now, sometimes bad things happen when you are a good person, and you're like, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. You know, I didn't do anything to deserve this. But then when you go through a huge healing phase, and you go through this process, and you're able to retain yourself as a being and become stronger and become more enlightened and become more wise, it's almost like laughing in joy at how deeper your connection with the divine becomes, and how more powerful you become as a being, and how you become stronger at weathering any storms that come your way, because that fear has been expelled from you. The areas where you've been afraid, you're not afraid anymore. You're like, I can do this. I have a greater sense of confidence in yourself. And see how a lot of these cards, the eyes are closed. You know, the eyes are closed because it's very much going inside and finding that strength and finding who you are as a person and as a being. And then the last card coming out is the Fertility card. And this is the Empress energy. So this is a very powerful energy. of knowing who you are. Look how this heart chakra energy is so balanced. We've got these nice elliptical round uh, cycles of growth. You have this connection to the divine where you can see the wings, you can see her hair becoming like the branches of a tree. And this is like a very powerful feminine energy of growth, of expansion, of motherhood, of nurturing and caring for others. But I see this also about this person caring for themselves, where maybe your energy went into people, places, and things that did not serve you. And maybe you felt like, man, I have to reestablish my boundaries. I need to create reciprocity and balance. I need to focus on my growth and what it is that I want. And now you've reached this beautiful space of balance, of safety and protection, and a growth that will allow you to continue to give. But the discernment to also choose a community and recognize these sort of things, but not just recognize them, because you may have recognized them when it was happening, but how to overcome it and to still come out on top and continue to grow and to continue to expand as a being. So this is just a beautiful message. I wasn't expecting the reading to go this way, to be honest with you. Um, and I apologize for the pain and suffering that you've endured. I can feel it very deeply in my heart when I connect to this collective energy. And so I just want to say congratulations for overcoming whatever you have. And it looks like it's only going to be beautiful energy moving forward. And the strength that you've obtained from this, the wisdom that you obtained from this, will allow you to continue to level up, in which if you do ever run into this sort of thing again, you'll have the confidence and the ability to move through it more quickly and more easily. But I feel like, honestly, it's something that you wouldn't even attract to yourself anymore. Um, it kind of leaves me speechless a little bit, being in this energy. So thank you so much for your time and your energy. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box below. If this resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.